Welcome back, guys, to Wild's Up TV, where we are breaking down the squads for this coming Saturday's game between the Kiwis and Toa Samoa. 6 p.m. Eden Park with a double header with the Kiwi A team versus Tonga A and the Kiwi Ferns versus the Ikaletahi. No, not Ikaletahi, Mate Maa Tonga, I think, women's team. I think Ikaletahi is the rugby union. Anyway, let's get into the squad. We're first going to break down this Kiwi squad. I like it. I really do like it. I like that they've gone back. I'll read it off that back five. Chans at the back, Ronaldo on the wing, Tomoko in the centre, Manu in the centres, back where he belongs, and Jermaine Isako. So I think they will go Tomoko on the left with Ronaldo on the left, which should be a really good pairing, and then J Manu and Isako, which I think will be a solid pairing as well. Probably the best possible back five we could get. I love that Chans is at the back. I know all us Warriors fans know Chans really well, and we're going to know he's going to be able to perform, and he'll work hard the whole match. He will, probably not the same as a Suafar Long on the other side, that's for sure, but he'll work hard. He'll make his yardage, probably end up with quite a big yardage number, and just love that he will be taking that role and supports that he had a great season. I think he was one of the best. So they're back five for me. I like Tomoko and Mulatalo. They're going to give a lot of. Tomoko's got that footwork, that speed. Same with Mulatalo, speed from the back. So once they get into their set plays, the footwork and the speed, those two together will be dangerous. And then you add on the other side, Joey Manu and Jermaine Sako. Sako's great finishing. Joey just where he belongs in the centres. He's just so overpowering that up against an opposite in Marion Seve, probably still the better centre. So I really like that. Now going to the halves, Dylan Brown, Jerome Hughes. Now again, Dylan, not the greatest year for him, but to get into the Kiwis camp and be with the boys, I think is great. And same for Jerome. Probably didn't end well with Melbourne, but getting the Kiwis camp, build on this combination. This seems the combination that's going to be the halves pairing moving into the next World Cup. Both in their primes, both still young to an extent. This is the halves pairing you want to build. Then that's what we've got to do. So, and then Fisher Harris has got listed as the captain this week. Great for him, happy for him as a Kiwis fan. He's the right guy for the job. He's done it on the club level stage. Now he's doing it at representative, and his comments about that he's learnt a lot from Yo and Cleary about leadership, and I suppose he'll have his own way about how he's going to do it, how he's going to be the Kiwis captain. And for him, it sounds like he's at a good age, I think, where Dallin Watene-Zelezniak was one of the youngest Kiwi captains. I thought that just looked bad, whereas this one with Fisher Harris played plenty of seasons in the area, like kind of a veteran, definitely a veteran, still in his prime, the right man to lead. So I'm happy with that. For Armanu Brown at hooker, yeah, that's probably, again, going back to we couldn't get Brandon Smith. JMK, who I think is the future hooker of the team, injured. Phoenix Trosland, a potential as well, just not out there, is injured as well. So it's the NRL season, obviously impacting every squad. That's the only downfall of the international game. You don't get access to the best players, but Armanu Brown, I think, will do a decent job. Again, he's got a forward pack there that will just be deadly and deliver. So he just needs to do his job, be solid at what he does, and the boys will help him out. Leota there. So back to Fisher Harris and Leota. That's the right starting, front row starting rotation. And it's probably, Kenny Bromwich obviously retired. I probably would have preferred they did this at the World Cup with Leota, but I like that starting because I like that they can absorb pretty much any forward pack. I know you'll be coming up against a Payne Haas and Tino the following week, but they went back down, and they won't let them try and dominate them. And that's what I like about them starting. They'll set the tone strong for our boys. And then Papali'i, Nikora, Tapine. Obviously, for me, Nikora is probably the best informed back rower out of that group. Papali'i probably didn't have the best season, but I still like him in the Kiwis camp. Tapine, for me, yeah, probably one of the best running locks in my mind. For me, I've always viewed Tapine as more of a prop. I find that him doesn't have the same level of distribution as what like a Tohu Harris has, but if they can get the right balance with their touches and getting the ball to the halves, I think Joey should have a really good game. For foreign at 14, I think foreign what they want to try to do there is, yeah, they're going to try and relieve Manu Brown there. It gives you covering the halves and in other positions, but foreign for impact, I'm personally not the biggest impact, but I think he does offer something right now for what we need. So I'm looking forward to how they use him when he comes on the field. It will be interesting. And what that impact is viewed as. Is it hooker? Probably hooker. Then look, Nelson off the bench again. Where does he come on? Probably in the middle, but also could probably play on the edges if you want to bring off a Papali'i or I think Nico will probably stay there, but it looks like he's going to be in part of that rotation to rotating the props out. Griffin Neem, happy for him. I think it's his debut. I'm really happy for this kid, West Coast kid, from one of the heartlands in New Zealand, getting a shot to show his skills and an impact player. I'm hoping he has a big game. Same for Leo Thompson. Just an awesome season for me. He was a player that I was interested to bring to the Warriors, and I thought he's had a great season, well deserved, and he'll do a good job in my eyes. I think that's a really good squad, as much as we can afford with injuries. That's probably close to the best Kiwi squad we have, and I think they will do a really good job. Now, jump on the other side with Sua Aui Fa'alongo at the back. What a game last week. I think he's going to get even more into his role. I think he'll have many opportunities in this game to showcase what he can do. I think the Kiwis will try and limit his touches through the kicking game, but ultimately he will explode, and I think he'll get a few opportunities again to show off his skill set. He'll be more settled. The team will be better prepared. And I think he's going to shine. He's going to be someone that for the Kiwis are going to have to really watch out for. Taulagi, I thought was great last week up against Cobbo. I thought he really outplayed him. So I imagine he'll carry on, and that maybe they'll get a few more set plays down that side. I wouldn't be surprised if they get some small scoring opportunities down there. Tango, again, probably not the best season for me. Hasn't had a breakout year, but I would like to see him up against, I think he's going to come up against a Tomoko. Should be a good solid battle for me. Probably Tomoko probably can burst him on the outside, but Tango is very solid player. So Marion Seville, I thought this is a really good decision. I wasn't sure if Marion was fit last week, but if he was, I would have had him over Tonu Maipia. I think Marion's had the better season and is probably the better player at this stage. So I'm happy to see Marion in the centres there, and I think he'll go quite well. I think him and Manu will be a good matchup. Marion can move. He's got good footwork. He's quite fast. He's a solid tackler. So I like that pairing. So I imagine he'll be with Taulagi on that edge up against Manu and Isako. And then Brian. I think Brian will probably have a better game. I felt for Brian a little bit, coming from the Penrith Panthers system. He knows it really well. I think he was overworking a little bit or having to overwork to cover for a lot of his teammates. He wasn't getting the best ball for himself that I think he deserves. So hopefully in this game he gets back to where he needs to, where he can make 200 meters even on a bad day, but you want impactful 200 meters from him, and I think that's really what's going to be key. Again, Stephen Crichton and Dejan Arce, two left-footed kickers. It was interesting. In my review, I was talking about that last week. Interesting seeing Stephen kick from the right, but both left-footed kickers. I'd never seen that before, really, and it looked really weird. But Stephen's actually got a really good long kicking game on him, and it looked like he's got some nice elements to playing 5'8". It's not high-level 5'8", but he's doing a decent job for mine. RC probably needs to take a bit more control. I thought there was a few errors last week that he probably wouldn't, have, enjoyed that he made those errors. He needs to take control of this team. I don't think you can rely on Stephen too much. Dejan really needs to step up a bit more if this team's going to go far. Utoi Kamanu, same again. I think he'll probably have a little bit more success against Fisher Harris and Leota. But again, he'll have to step up. I don't think he did that well against Payne Haas and Fa'asua Maleaui. I think he's going to have a big game and probably settle more into his role. Gordon Chancom Tom, I like this. They started off with Mata Mua last week and it just didn't work. It wasn't enough direct play from hooker to provide for them. So I think that Gordon's going to have a big game. I wonder if Gordon maybe plays 60, 65 minutes and they try and get away without like a Mata Mua playing for maybe 10, 15 in the hooker and then bring Gordon back on. So I think Gordon's going to have a good game, and Fa'amanu Brown and Gordon, probably the same level really. So look for Gordon to have another big game. I think he did quite well. Junior Polo, yeah, I think Junior has just had a bit of ring rust. He didn't look the greatest, so I imagine he'll come back strong this week, and solidify that middle a bit for me. I think they'll get some dominance and some more go forward out of their forwards this week. Luciano, same again. I think just ring rust, not getting in tune with the halves. I think he'll get some more attacking plays where he can really create for himself. And Lemuelu as well. A little bit of a quiet game, really quiet game last week from the back rows, I thought, in patches. So I was actually thinking they were going to be on the opposite sides, but they ended up with Luciano on the left and then Lemuelu on the right. So I was a bit surprised by that. Keenan Palacios, yeah, Keenan again. Probably this is their second game and potentially their last game. So they got to really push and try and maximize as much as they can. Keenan, I think for me, has to lift a bit more, has to get a bit more involved. And sort of kind of help that middle attack a bit more. Off the bench, Spencer Lenu, he'll just thrive in this situation. I think he'll pick up even more. I think Gardner kind of got his minutes. Not say it's wrong, but I think he'll probably get a solid run in this game, and the timing of when he comes on will probably be a bit more consistent. Terrell May, I think he's a star of the future. Probably didn't have his best game, and again, a bit of ring rust for a lot of these guys. They'll come back ready and strong for this game for sure. Helam Luki, didn't really get to see Helam's impact, but I hope they can kind of find a better role for him. I definitely think he's an edge back rower. I think he's playing through the middle a bit more, and then Justin, I think Justin actually is that rotation, thinking about middle play for Keenan, and I think Justin should be playing in the middle a bit more. He is a ball playing lock. He's very efficient, very direct, and has good ball skills. I think probably they'll see a patch there where Justin comes on for Keenan and plays through the middle a bit more and starts to direct a lot of that middle traffic and attack. So, look, it's going to be a great game. I think this is quite an even game, and especially if you're thinking for the Samoan team coming off what was, I suppose, a bad first half, and then you're thinking, well, we kind of kept the Aussies, limited in the second half. We got into our shape, we got into our patterns. We're ready to go now against the Kiwis, and the Kiwis haven't played. There's probably going to be a lot of ring rust, a lot of errors for them. How can we seize the moment? For me, they got to come out firing. They have to be able to score some points early, get into their patterns, and I think they might have enough if they could do that to really get to the Kiwis. The thing again will fall back on RC and Crichton. Can you trust those two to get you around the park to make the right decisions at the right times? Fa'alongo will inject himself. How explosive can he be? I think he can be deadly. I'm quite concerned as a Kiwis fan. He should not be taken lightly. But at the same time, the Kiwis probably take them a half to get into the game, but once they get in, they'll probably be definitely locked in. So it'll be an interesting game to see how it pans out. For me, Samoa got to come out strong, and then they can defend. They've had periods against Aussie where they did defend well, but at the same time, you've got to catch the Kiwis early if you can, put a bit of scoreboard pressure on them, then start getting them to force the pass. If you can get that and get errors out of them, then you're halfway there. So really tight game from mine. I would go the Kiwis 1-12 because I'm a Kiwis fan, but I wouldn't be surprised if Samoa would win 1-12, a close tight one. This comes back again. I think this might be a tight one. It could be either a blowout to the Kiwis or a really tight one where I think probably come down to the wire and who can make the better decisions of the group. For me at the moment, I'm leaning towards Hughes and Brown with Chance and those other experienced players to get the boys home. But if you can get a Fa'alongo with a bit of confidence and once the Samoans feel they get the energy and the crowd will be up for them, no doubt it will be either 70-30 or 80-20 crowd to the Samoa. So that crowd should be behind them. So it'd be a really interesting game. But I think it's going to be a good one. Any other concerns for mine? Not really. Jared Sutton is the ref. Okay, interesting. Adam G. Yeah, not that reffing has been really too bad for mine. I think it'll be a good game. Just hopefully they let it play and let the boys play. But anyway, guys, that backs up the review. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and we'll catch you on the flip. Peace.